Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Welcome. Or maybe not quite welcome. I guess a few have been already at some keynotes this morning. Terrific. I'm really excited about ours. I'm Pasquale DeMaio. I'm the general manager of Amazon Connect. It's an AWS service, contact center in the cloud. Talk a little more about that in a bit. But the main thing we're going to talk about today is how customers are using the cloud and artificial intelligence to drive innovation. Now, AWS is the leader in the cloud. It has the broadest functionality with 165 discrete services, including 40 that are unique to AWS in the cloud. Our pace of innovation is incredibly fast. Just last year, in 2018, we launched 1,957 features or services. And that's enabled us, along with our 12 years of operations, to bring on millions of customers and tens of thousands of partners. But why do people come to the AWS cloud? Well, number one is always security. In fact, we call it job zero. We have the most security certifications of any cloud vendor, but more importantly, our approach to it is that it always comes before anything else. If you ever lose the trust of your customers through a security issue, you may never get it back. Another reason why people like AWS is because they're confident in our scalability. They want to know that our infrastructure is going to grow with their business needs. In fact, we add the equivalent of a Fortune 500 company's worth of compute every day. Another aspect is performance. If you work on communications and collaboration, I'm sure you care very much about performance. At AWS, we're the only cloud vendor to offer 100 gigabits a second of interconnectivity between compute instances. That's why more machine learning happens on AWS than any other cloud platform. And we're more reliable, as measured by our competitors' own numbers. A lot of that comes from our availability and the way we look at our architecture and our global footprint. We have the largest global presence, which again, in communications and collaboration is very important. We have 61 availability zones across 20 regions globally. And we've got 4 more coming: Bahrain, Cape Town, Hong Kong, and Milan. That'll bring another 12 availability zones online. But right now, a lot of you are probably wondering, what's an availability zone? Well, availability zones are important because they make it easier and more effective to design and build applications to be highly available, fault-tolerant, and scalable than traditional data centers or even multiple data center setups. An availability zone is a discrete set of data centers housed separately in both in terms of facilities, by physical distance, but also by fully redundant and isolated fiber networks, and on different utility grids. Additionally, we always build them in low-risk floodplains. Of course, keeping them separate means they have to have great interconnectivity with each other to use them together. And so we build low latency, high throughput, and highly redundant networks between them. All that's to say that AWS is a great place to build cloud-based communications and collaboration applications. In fact, Gartner has recognized this, and they recommend this approach for building enterprise applications that require high availability. And in Amazon Connect, we take advantage of this. Every region we deploy leverages at least 3 availability zones. So we're active, active, active. In fact, a lot of this is why you're seeing the cloud become the new normal for these types of applications. Whether it's Comcast, who does all their development for their Xfinity X1 platform on AWS, it's allowed them to speed up their deployment quite a bit. Or Boingo, or Vodafone, or Netflix. Netflix delivers 4 billion hours of content every month. I sleep a lot better knowing my binge watching is protected by the AWS infrastructure and supported by it. But we can't let our customers have all the fun developing cool communication and collaboration services. We had to build some ourselves. Not because I like to say we just like doing it, but because other customers have come and asked us for it. In fact, 90% of all the features in AWS came directly from customers asking us for them. So to answer some of these challenges that they were having, we delivered Amazon Connect, Amazon Chime, Alexa for Business, Work Docs, and Workmail. And we didn't stop there. Since 2017, which is a time frame that's very dear to my heart, and I'll tell you a little bit more why in a minute, we've delivered more than 150 features across these communications and collaboration services. We're not slowing down anytime soon. It's not surprising that this pace of innovation has attracted a number of customers to AWS and to these specific applications. You can see here it's a pretty broad grouping of customers, whether Cap One in the financial industry or Fender in the music industry. Some pretty cool things to see what people are doing with Amazon AWS technology and AWS applications. One of the applications customers are most excited about is Amazon Chime. It lets you meet, chat, and share content in a single secure application across all of your devices. But the thing I like best about Amazon Chime is it alerts you on all of your devices when you have a meeting coming up. Now I'm never late for a meeting. Okay, well, now I'm never late for a meeting because I didn't know what was going on. The good thing about Chime also is that you only pay for what you use. It's truly pay-as-you-go pricing, and you choose what features you want to use. So you get to shape it to your business needs. Here's what one customer had to say about Amazon Chime. Hodges Mace was really excited about being able to use a single device for all their communication, or sorry, a single application for all of their communication across all their devices. They're also really excited to go from $10,000 a month to $2,000. That kind of savings is a pretty nice bonus to having a great communication platform. We launched 2 features this week for Amazon Chime. Both of them are pretty exciting. I'd like to start with Chime Business Calling. Amazon Chime Business Calling lets you place and receive calls and text messages to over 100 countries on all of your devices in a single app. You can receive calls on your devices as well, and if you don't pick them up, they'll go to voicemail. You can dial out using a simple keypad, all the things you'd expect to be able to do with phone functionality. And again, no upfront payments. It's all pay-as-you-go, no long-term commitments, and no per-seat pricing. Just pay for numbers, minutes, and text messages. It's also super easy to set up. You just go to the AWS console, and your administrators can assign features to your users. So you can decide what features can do what, or what users can do what. And you can bring your own numbers you already have, or purchase new ones. The second new offering from Amazon Chime that we're particularly excited about is the Voice Connector. It's a service that carries your voice traffic across the internet, and it elastically scales with your needs. Whatever your capacity is, you can scale it up or down. The great thing about it is it's super easy to use, but it also can save you more than 50%, eliminating your fixed telephony network costs and simplifying your network administration. For those of you who have been in the industry a while, you might also think of it as SIP trunking in the cloud. You can choose how much traffic you send to it. You don't have to send all of it. You can move in and out of it if you want to. You can dip your toe in the water if you like. And you can also scale it up and down as your business grows. Like business calling, it's also pay-as-you-go. You're just paying for voice minutes and phone numbers. And to sweeten the pot a little bit, you get free dialing into Amazon Chime meetings, and you also get free communication between other Voice Connector users. So that even if it's a different company, you can call them for free. You can start using it today. Just go to the AWS console and check it out. Before we ever launch a feature, we always like to gather a lot of feedback from customers. Here's what 2 customers had to say about the Voice Connector and business calling functionality. University of Arizona and Brooks Brothers were both very excited and really looking forward to using these products. Another really cool set of functionality, a service we offer, is Amazon Alexa for Business. Alexa for Business takes a lot of the power you have in your home Echo or Alexa devices. I don't know how many of you have one, but my family loves it. We use it all the time, but usually to play music, setting alarms, a lot of fun things. But we also now can use it as a virtual assistant to make us more efficient at work. Customers are also now taking Alexa-enabled devices and using them to improve their workplace. You can simplify meetings, build a smart workplace, and improve employee productivity. Meetings are a particularly exciting place where this comes to play. I don't know how many hours of time you guys have wasted trying to turn on AV systems and get a meeting set up in a conference room, but now all you have to say is, Alexa, start my meeting, and you're up and running. You can also use Alexa to book conference rooms and schedule meetings. It integrates with a lot of popular conferencing software like Zoom, RingCentral, Skype for Business, and of course, Amazon Chime. Additionally, it integrates with AV systems from Poly and from Crestron, Team, and Cisco. Condé Nast is a great customer who's using Alexa for Business right now. In fact, they fully voice-enabled their meetings and their meeting spaces. Now they're working on fully voice-enabling their entire business, their entire office, that is. They really love it because they don't have to deal with any more of those clunky user interfaces. Again, Alexa, start my meeting. Additionally, we're making it easier for folks who might not want to take an Echo and put it in every room. The Polycom Trio now offers Alexa for Business integration. You can get all the same great features right now. And if you already have a Polycom Trio, you don't have to go buy a new one. A simple firmware update within the meeting room is going to bring all those great Alexa for Business functionalities. Another thing we announced this week was our business room booking API for Alexa for Business. Joan and Robin have already integrated this, and so you can come by our booth and find out some of the other cool things people are doing to enable Alexa for Business in their offices. So we've come to the part I promised where I said it would be near and dear to my heart. Some of you may remember 2 years ago on this stage, we launched Amazon Connect, our self-service, cloud-based contact center that makes it easier for businesses of any size to deliver better customer service at lower costs. And I told people then, and I've told people since, because it really is true and it's core to the entire being of Amazon, that we're focused on being the Earth's most customer-centric company. To do that, just in our retail, Amazon retail division alone, we support millions of customers in dozens of languages from 32 different countries, using over 70,000 customer service associates. And now for any of you, you can take advantage of the same technology that powers all of that to make and improve and deliver incredible customer service for your customers. Amazon Connect has all of the functionality you would expect from a contact center: skills-based routing, call recordings, real-time and historical metrics and analytics, and of course, high-quality voice capabilities. It's incredibly important that your agents understand what your customers are saying and your customers understand what your agents are saying. Not only does it make them more effective, it also just makes them happier. There are also some things that are unique to Amazon Connect, though. First off, it's 100% cloud-based. It makes it more reliable. It also means you can use it from anywhere. Your agents can be all over the world. And additionally, it scales up and down with your usage. So as your business grows and changes, Amazon Connect can grow with it. It's built on 10 years of experience of running and supporting 50 different Amazon contact centers, including that big retail one I talked about, all the way down to help desk and HR. It's simple and self-service. The thing that's really important about that is not only could anyone in this room set up a contact center right now with just a few clicks, taking your first call in just minutes, but that would be the same enterprise-grade contact center technology that we use to power all of our customer service. And because it's so simple, your business decision makers can really own and control their contact center, putting them empowered to be able to build and innovate at the pace they want to. Customers like Capital One, Intuit, rolling out thousands and thousands of agents on it, they've already shown that they can innovate much, much faster on Amazon Connect. Rackspace, Axial Healthcare, and Insomnia Cookies are all other customers as well who are able to really apply their vision to the contact center instead of having to think about infrastructure. A big part of building a great customer experience is what happens when a call comes in and the customer has to interact with the system. Our contact flows, as we like to call them, they're really an extension, I think, of what people used to call IVRs, but much more powerful. I think of them as a process engine that's really good at talking and communicating with human beings. With these contact flows, which are also self-service, so you can build and change them at your leisure, you can integrate with virtually any back-end system to pull in information about the customer who's calling and change the behavior dynamically as the customer talks to you, either based on what you know about them from before or what they're telling you right now. In integration with Amazon Lex, which is a powerful AI tool that allows you to have natural language conversations, having a simple, natural, very comfortable conversation with a customer is now something you can do in a completely automated fashion. It takes something that's often painful, press 1, press 2, and turns it into something that can be delightful, particularly when it solves their problems really quickly. Additionally, Amazon Connect is open and extensible. You can build integrations on top of it easily and quickly, and your data really is your data. You have access to all of your call recordings. You can stream your most detailed contact records into the data warehouse of your choice. We want you to be empowered. Additionally, we offer no-hassle telephony. We take care of all the undifferentiated heavy lifting of managing your telephone infrastructure and dealing and negotiating with carriers. Our pay-as-you-go pricing, again, means you pay only for what you use. So if your business is small today and big tomorrow, whether that's because you've grown your business or whether it's because you have some important event coming up, you only pay for what you use, and you don't have to worry about paying up front for capacity. And finally, Amazon Connect is AI-enabled. I think if any part of the world is really trying to use AI as effectively as possible in real-world scenarios, it's the contact center. And for a long time, that's been highly aspirational. People have known what they want to do, but they haven't been able to. But with Amazon Connect and the AWS suite of AI applications, we're really going from aspirational to implementational, all without having to hire expensive proprietary professional services, because once again, it's all self-service. One customer, Rackspace, loves the pace of innovation they're enabled with Amazon Connect. In fact, they describe their legacy contact center as a railroad and Amazon Connect as a rocket ship. I personally love that quote because it tells me how empowered they've been and how quickly they've been able to make changes. Rackspace is actually here this week. They have a panel on Thursday if you guys want to go check it out. I think it should be really fun to hear what they say. And then you can hear from their own mouths what they think about Amazon Connect. We also wanted to announce something kind of cool this week, and we did bring out a solution called the AI-powered Speech for Analytics for Amazon Connect solution. It's a bit of a mouthful, but it's pretty cool, and I'm pretty excited to tell you about it. It takes and combines a number of AI capabilities and makes them into a simple-to-use solution that is added to Amazon Connect with just a few clicks. It starts with speech-to-text transcription, and then it delivers insights on top of that, so agents, supervisors can be more empowered. And then it delivers translation into preferred languages, so you don't have to just look at it in the language that the customer was speaking. I'd actually like to bring out my friend and colleague, Yasser El-Hagan, to talk a little bit about this solution. Yasser? Thank you.
Thanks, Pasquale. My name is Yasser again, and today I'd like to tell you guys about the AI-powered speech analytics solution for Amazon Connect. I'd like to get started by telling you about some of the services that we've integrated with Amazon Connect to power this solution. I'll get started with Amazon Transcribe. Amazon Transcribe will take the customer audio and create a speech-to-text transcription in real time with punctuation. We'll then take that text and process it through Amazon Comprehend, which will give us key insights like sentiment analysis, key phrase detection, and entity detection. Sorry. We can then translate that text into multiple languages for bilingual agents with Amazon Translate, which supports 21 languages and 417 different combinations. What we've really done is taken these AI services and created a single solution that you can deploy easily in a few clicks. Never before have customers had access to this capability at their fingertips without upfront costs, contracts, or professional service engagements. Let me show you how it works. Before I get started, I'd like to show you this interface and kind of explain what you're looking at here. We've created a sample UI that we can bring all these services together so we can demonstrate them working at the same time. Amazon Connect has a contact control panel, which is essentially the soft phone that agents use to take and make calls. The contact control panel has a set of APIs that enable you to embed the contact control panel in a CRM or an agent desktop. And that's really what we're doing here. So over here, we have the contact control panel embedded in this sample UI. And when we make a call, you'll see that we can pass data to this interface. So I would expect to see my name here. As I'm demonstrating the functionality, you'll see this emoji change based on the identified sentiment of the last sentence. Over here, you'll see a bar that will go from red to green based on the overall sentiment of the text that's been identified, which will be displayed here, powered by Amazon Transcribe. We'll also take that transcription and translate it, in this case, to Spanish. And then on this side, you'll see suggested actions that will display based on the key phrases that we've identified. Now again, this is an example. You might not necessarily need to deploy every one of these features, but you can pick and choose which one you want to integrate with your CRM or agent desktop. So I'll place a phone call into the contact center. I'll be the customer. And Nikki will be the agent, though you're not going to hear the agent side. Let's give it a go. I'll accept the call. Hi, Nikki. I've been a customer for 2 years now, and I just received a notice that the special pricing I got when I first signed up is about to expire in 2 weeks. I checked your competitor's website yesterday, and they're offering better pricing. I plan on switching providers if you can't match their price. Is there anything you can do to renew the promotional pricing? Great. Glad you're able to do that for me. Oh, you'll send me an Amazon gift card too? That's amazing. I really appreciate it. All right. Glad you guys like that. So as you can see here, as I was speaking in real time, Amazon Transcribe is transcribing this text. And what's pretty neat is we're including punctuation as well. Now, we've configured our UI in a way that as Comprehend is identifying the sentiment and the key phrases, we can highlight those key phrases for the agent so it makes them easy to pick out the key items that the customer is talking about. In addition, it's been converted to Spanish, which again makes it easy for bilingual agents to get context in their local tongue. We've used the key phrases to drive suggested actions for the agent. Now, there's lots of things you can do with this. For example, I can automate the CRM experience for the agent. So as I recognize things like, hey, I'm calling to check my order, maybe I bring up that order page automatically without having the agent having to do that themselves. Another use case would be now the agent can focus on having a great conversation with the customer without having to necessarily take notes. So I can pre-populate the CRM in real time with all the notes for the agent. They can always go back and edit them, but now they're focused on that conversation with the customer. OK, let me show you some of the entities here. Amazon Comprehend is also able to identify things like names. So for example, it picked up that Nikki is a person. It identified that 2 weeks is a quantity, yesterday as a date, and Amazon as an organization. This could be useful if you're trying to understand what's happening in the contact center and what's top of mind for your customers. For example, I can recognize that maybe my supplier is being mentioned, or a partner, or maybe even a competitor. All this context is available for the entire duration of the call. What that means is that as I transfer this call to another agent, this context gets passed along. So for example, if I'm going from a tier 1 support to tier 2 support, all this context and information can go to that agent. They no longer have to ask me to repeat myself or re-explain the problem. With Amazon Connect, there's a concept of a CTR, a contact trace record, which contains all the details for a given call: who called, when they called, and also all the additional metadata. This context can now also live as part of that record as well. Let me show you. So if I find this call over here, I can click on the details. That's the Amazon Connect interface, by the way. So I have all the details of this call. I also have access to all the metadata that you just saw. And that's not the right call. Sorry. Let's try that again. This is my call. Over here, you'll see that as part of the same call detail record, I have the transcript, the overall sentiment, the final sentiment, and the different percentages. So this could be useful to understand how the conversation started and how it ended. How well is the agent performing? Another thing that our customers are doing with this information is creating interfaces like this, where I can now export this data. In this example, it's to Elasticsearch, another AWS service. And I can start seeing word clouds in a dashboard in near real time that let agents and supervisors and businesses understand what's being mentioned by their customers and agents. Similarly with sentiment. Another thing customers are doing is this gives you the ability to now search for context through all the conversations that are happening across your contact center. For example, here I'm showing the last 60 days worth of records. Let's up that to the last 2 years. It's a demonstration system. So we have 52,000 records in the system. I can quickly say, show me any calls where a customer mentioned, for example, confusion. Just like that, I can sort from 50,000 records to one and get to the exact call where a customer mentioned that term. And that's my demonstration. Pasquale?
Thanks, Yasser. That was great. So I suspect a lot of folks here would expect something like that to take a lot of model training. Is that the case?
No, not at all. So actually, the services that we mentioned are AI services from AWS, where they're pre-trained and they're continuously learning. So what I would expect is that as you deploy the solution, you can get these same insights from the first phone call that you process.
Wow, that's really cool. And can people get started really easily?
Absolutely. In fact, you can go to our website. We have a registration page for the preview, and you can download the solution and deploy it.
Cool. And is it expensive to get started, upfront costs?
No, again, these services are all consumption-based models, so you're only paying for what you use.
That's terrific. That's terrific. Well, I think we've reached the end of our time here. I just want to really thank everybody for coming today. I want to say, number one, I'm so excited about what we're all doing together to build much, much better communication and collaboration experiences for customers that include artificial intelligence and powered by the AWS cloud. I think you can see that we're only at the very beginning, but we're already doing some amazing things. And we'd love to help you in your journey to use the cloud and to start taking advantage of artificial intelligence in real-world applications. Everyone here should come by the booth. We'd love to see you, 2106, and look around for us. We'd be happy to stop and talk to you, share some of all the new fun things we're doing together and the customers are doing with us. Thank you very much.